Hi, guys.
I gave you a heads up. I asked you, so you
And
knew
I
it was
said-
coming.
I said never, but that's okay. We are here. It is Deborah
And I'm Lori.
with Weekly Dose, and we have a guest star today.
Gives you about 30 seconds before you figure out who it is.
As soon as, well, I'll start laughing, so you'll know. So anyway,
January 95 sleeps till Christmas.
okay, I don't know if anybody heard that, but we just got the Christmas update, so I'm pretty sure everybody is just clued in as to who our guest is today. Okay, so announcements, we're pretty short on them today, but they're big ones. More fabric, we've got a full skid coming in. Anticipation is today.
We're excited because I've seen some sneak peeks.
Absolutely,
And I'm
yeah.
like, woohoo.
And I don't need any more fabric.
Oh, you didn't need it.
I did get a lot of things cleaned up in my sewing room on Saturday, and I have a couple of empty shelves. So maybe I need to fill them.
I can help you fix that.
Yes, I know. I'm in the right place for that. This is quilting month.
It is.
So get quilting. Get on it.
Speaking of quilting, do you remember at the beginning of the year we did our what was it?
Our plans for the year?
Yes. Our
Goals.
there we go. The word new resolutions and all that kind of what we were going to get done. And remember I said one of them was to finish off?
Yes.
So behind me is the Flying Geese quilt. The only thing I have left to do is the borders, which, guess what? I found fabric today for me.
Wow. Imagine that.
So
Fabric in a fabric store.
yeah, pretty much. So we found.
The geese are flying north.
Yes, they are.
They
'cause
are.
They're coming home.
So I've got the two quilts for the bed are all put together. We just need the borders, and so those should go on to the next day or two, and then I can get it quilted. I'm going to do my free motion quilting
So
that I
we'll
learned.
see it complete next week.
No, not next week. That's because it's two quilts after free motion, and so I can only do so much at once.
What else you have to do?
Would you like a list? So before the end of the year, it'll be
Okay. So before we get
what year?
yes, exactly. It is on the agenda for this year. That's
Yes.
part of our goal.
So I'm that much further ahead than what I was 2 months ago. So I'm thinking I'm doing good.
My
Okay.
goal this year is to slow all my friends down, so it looks like I got more done. So.
Well, that's not nice. But then, okay, no one ever, whatever. Okay, so before we get into the upcoming classes, I wanted to point out we have a Quilt As You Go reverse quilt in Country Folk. There's a couple of spaces left there. But we do have a classroom at Country Folk, but we do have a shortage of teachers in Chilliwack.
Yeah,
so
so
if anybody,
Yeah, if you know someone who wants to teach or has
you've
some
got
ideas,
an idea that you think other people would appreciate, get in touch. We would love to hear from you. And that just send the information directly to info@tomsewing.com, and that would be wonderful. So thank you very much. Just share it with your friends.
I mean, if you're in Surrey too, or Burnaby, and you want to teach, I will take teachers from anyone.
Absolutely. It does. It's just specifically we're
Yeah,
talking about
so-
Country Folk at this point in time. So upcoming classes, the machine cover class that runs on Saturday. I think there's one spot left. So it's a really cute cover, and it would be a really great way to try out that new machine if you bought one over Christmas, or it was a gift to somebody, or you know what, you finally figured, maybe I should put the cover on every now and then. I know I should, but you know what? I sew so frequently, I just kind of go, why bother? And I don't. So they're completely closed in, so it's okay. So I'm not, I dust it. I showed you my brush, so
Yes.
I do dust my machines. Sit and Sews on Monday. This past Monday, we were packed for Sit and Sew. So it might be, if this is going to become that busy for this time of the year, maybe put your name on that list so that we've got a spot.
You have a spot. Otherwise, you're sitting on the floor.
Yeah, or you know what? You can do what I do at lunchtime. I just come in and chat with the ladies because it's, the only time I really get to visit with most of the people who come by. Life is Better in Full Bloom coming up next week.
Yes, that's our embroidery club
Yes.
class. And so if you've just started to get back into embroidery, if you've taken the embroidery classes, this is a good project to really get started and learn a few more different techniques. We've got paper piecing in there. We've got a little fringe. We got a few things, and then we'll talk. Second class, we'll be doing borders in them. So it'll be a nice sample of a few different things.
So this is
It is a two-part. It is a two-part.
Okay, and our Serger classes. We have this year Serger 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there's a couple of spaces left in each, well, not in every one of them, but there's a couple of spaces left. So if you've just got a Serger or you want to expand, because what these machines can do is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they're not just about finishing the edges
and cutting it off at the same time.
So we have an expert.
Yes, we do. As you just do. Who
has been an expert to drip under pressure.
Tom's going to walk us through the different types of Sergers because, like I said, they do a lot more than they used to do when they first came up. So,
Not so much different types of Sergers.
We're going to pop that on you.
yeah. Different techniques that
Deborah
they can
and I
do.
will share this one, so we'll get nice and cozy and share
Like
this
that?
one. Yes.
Does that work? Okay.
All right. We're going to flip this around.
I'm mic'd up. Oh, is this like one of those hot?
Be
when
careful.
They say things when they don't realize the mic is still recording. So
No, because we told you you're up.
Doesn't stop them.
No.
encouragement. Okay. So they talk about all the different sergers, and it's not so much different sergers as the different things you can do with the sergers. Okay. Unlike sewing machines, which have a huge scale and they add so many different things in, with sergers, they don't add a lot of functionality as they go up in price. Going up in price adds quality and it adds ease of use. Ease of use is the big one. There is a bit of functionality increases, which we'll talk about very briefly here, but we're going to start at the basics, okay? So 3/4 thread serger. So 3-thread serger and a 4-thread serger. Okay, and that is basically the standard stitch. Now, as an example, my aunt, many years ago, when my sister got into the sewing industry, she had a serger. She actually had 2 sergers. She had one threaded in white and one threaded in black because they were such a pain to thread. Okay. Well, one day my sister, who eventually went on to become the Western sales rep for Elna Canada, was doing some stuff on the serger, and my aunt flipped out. She's like, "You can do that on a serger?" Because my sister was going around curves and corners and stuff. So she had a serger for years, but thought you could only do a straight line edge finish with a serger. That's all you could do with it. Okay. So we developed these classes back in the 90s. A whole team. Donna Robinson contributed some. Janet Werner contributed some. I've put a few twists and spins on it. In fact, Donna is teaching this level here, so she's retired from being the Baby Lock sales rep for Canada just last year, and so she's now getting back out there a bit, and she's going to bring some of her expertise back to the store here for us. She actually taught me how to use a serger back in the 90s. So Donna and I go a long ways back. Okay, so I've got a bunch of samples we're going to show here, but I'm going to show you some of the basics on what we're talking about on the machines first of all. Okay, so a basic serger is something like this guy right here. Okay, this is a 3/4 thread serger. This is one of my little prize toys because it's got all clear covers. It's a fully functioning working serger. You can serge on it. It is not for sale. I will never sell this to anybody because I cannot get another one, and I had to buy a lot of sergers to even qualify to be able to get this guy. Okay, all the way up to the other end of the scale here. This is the Baby Lock Triumph. Okay, now this one here has 8 threads available. This is 4 threads available. Okay. The reason that this has 8 threads available is because at a certain point in time, we went from 4-thread sergers to 5-thread sergers, which was adding a 2-thread chain stitch like this, okay, into next to a 3-thread serge. So a 2-thread chain stitch next to a 3-thread serge down it. And then they took that technology because they put another looper in and they expanded out the needle bar system and they gave us cover stitch, okay, all in one unit. So a separate machine brought in from the industrial world with a 5-thread guy like this. So he has 5 threads to him, okay, but it's serger mode and it's cover stitch mode. And there's quite a transformation process going one way and then back the other way. So some of the companies, Janome and Elna, for example, have gotten away from 5 threads. They only do 4-thread, and then they do, over here, this guy here, they do a cover stitch only machine. So there's no transformation. You have your 4-thread serger, you do 3-thread, 4-thread, rolled hem, and all the different things I'm going to show you here, and then you have your cover stitch machine. What Baby Lock did, which is the inventor of the home serger, is they kept it all in one. But they gave us 8 threads. So there's no real transformation process between serging mode and cover stitch mode. Both are fully functional at the same time. Depending on what you're doing, it depends on whether you change out your bed here for a cutting platform or a sewing platform. But your cover stitch does not interfere with your serging, and your serging does not interfere with your cover stitch. Okay, so the 8 thread makes some people apprehensive because I hardly deal with 4 threads. I don't want to deal with 8 threads. You're not usually dealing with 8 threads. Now, some of the creative people at Baby Lock have said, hey, we can do this and make that and work with this and do all this kind of fun stuff. In reality, most of the time, you're not going to do that unless you're a super creative person, at which point having the option to do that creativity comes in handy. Pardon me. So Baby Lock also has a cover stitch only machine. Other brands like Husqvarna, Pfaff, Brother, Bernina still work with the 5-thread transformation process forward and back. It is a tried and true technology, been working well for decades, but there is the transformation process. Baby Lock went the other way and said, we're going to make a machine, and they have several. The Splendor, for example, is also an 8-thread, much smaller chassis and frame and a much cheaper price tag, with the cover stitch and the serging built in, both functioning at the same time. Janome and Elna went, we're going to do a serger and we're going to do a cover stitch. We're going to keep the 2 technologies separate. Okay, they did do 5 threads as well, but they moved away from that. They just found that their customer base was not enjoying the transformation process, so they approached it. And that's one of the nice things about having 8 major brands out there, all with different design and engineering teams, all with different consumer polling numbers and things like that, and approaching things from different angles. So some things work better for some people, other things work better for other people. So there's no one size fits all. However, having said that, it doesn't matter whether you're working with an 8-thread serger and you're using 3 threads or 4 threads in it, or whether you're working with a basic 4-thread serger and you're working with 3 threads or 4 threads in it. The stitch that comes out looks exactly the same. Okay. It's that stitch there. Okay. So I got some samples in here. Okay. They're not necessarily in order, but here is a flat lock. So you can see joining 2 pieces together without a big bulky seam. We use some decorative thread, variegated. I really love my variegated threads in there. Here we're showing doing a blind stitch on a serger. Don't tell anybody, but I find a blind stitch on a serger to be a waste of time. I don't tell the suppliers though, because they all love that feature. Honestly, if you're going to do a blind stitch, do it on a sewing machine. It's so much easier, so much faster, and so much more precise. Yes, you can do it on a serger, but just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Okay, here we're using a flat lock to attach lace. Okay, and here we're actually easing in and attaching lace while gathering it. We come over here, you're going to see just a 2-thread flat lock. You don't see it. You see the top and the bottom, okay, narrow and wide. You don't see it pulled flat, but whereas a regular serge leaves a seam, a flat lock allows it to pull flat like that. So it rests against your skin. It's very good for stretchy fabrics and stuff like that. They're going to pull tight against your legs, like leggings and things like that. Quite often used in swimsuits and things like that. Here we're working with a regular 3-thread, but just with this decorative threads. Okay. Now, this is what started to get my aunt going when she saw my sister doing neckline. You can do curves inside curves and outside curves on your serger, and she was just stuck doing straight lines. Okay, this is the serged in, and then that's folded out and pressed down so you can see how it finishes out. Okay, here we're looking at gathering. Sergers have gathering function. That's called differential feed. Okay, and differential feed was developed to work with our stretch fabrics. So you see here is what happens when you're not using differential feed. In the old days, sergers had a big foot and a big set of feed dogs. Then they broke the feed dogs into two and gave us an adjustable factor for it, so we could increase or decrease the pull of them and keep our stretch fabrics square when we were sewing through them. Okay. All sergers nowadays have differential feed. You can't buy them without. Not all differential feed is created equal. Just because it says it goes from 0.5 to 2 for your ratio doesn't necessarily mean it's a true 0.5 or 2. Okay, higher quality machines, higher, I was going to say higher quality brands, but higher quality machines within the premier brands will give better results than lower quality machines, even within those same brands. They don't put as much design and engineering dollars into entry-level products as they do into high-end products. Go figure. Okay. Here, I don't know if you can really see it. It's quite tight there. That's working with a rolled hem. Okay. Pretty much every serger does a 3-thread rolled hem. Okay. Here you're seeing we're easing in a hem. So we've used a gentle bit of the differential feed to gather it in a little bit to ease it in. Okay. We saw that one here. Here we're serging on the ribbing. Okay, we're playing with the ribbing here. Now we're actually serging it on and easing it in one step. That's with our gathering foot. We have many different feet and options for different levels of sergers as well. Okay, shearing is what they call when you're stitching a solid piece onto a gathered piece and doing it all in one step. And then with a rolled hem finish on the bottom. You can see that you're getting vinyl and denim, multiple layers with your serger. Corners. Okay. My aunt, for example, thought you had to serge off each one and go. In our serger classes, we teach you how to pivot at the corners and go around. So inside as well. So you only have, I know you're all sitting there trying to figure out how do you pivot and go around that corner. You have to come to the class to find out. But then you only have one tie off at the end. Okay. Putting elastic in with your serger all in one step. Using decorative threads just to create braiding. Okay, that's more of the same samples there. Fleece or ribbing. Tape, and those are just repeat samples. Okay, then I have some other things here. So some of the fun features, really like this one here. Okay, it's working with our decorative thread. Baby Lock, on some of their machines, they have this little wave feature. Okay, and you flip that up and it manually adjusts your tension while you're serging, and it pulls it down and up as you're going between your upper looper and your lower looper.
That is so cute. I like that.
Okay, and then here we're working with the chain stitch and decorative thread in our looper. Okay, so it's just a chain stitch on one side, but because we're using the thick decorative thread in the looper, we get to have some fun with it. You can use that decorative thread on many different things. Here we turned it into a blanket stitch. Okay, and that's all in how you set and play with your stitches. Not all machines can do a blanket stitch. It really depends on the machine. But then back to feet and accessories. Here we put cording and piping in. You see along the bottom there. Here we attached beads in the serger with our beading foot. Okay. Here we put used our chain stitch and put bias. Well, that's the word there. Bias on all in one step. Okay. using the different serging to put different decorative edges on the bottom. Some with fabric, some with scallop. Okay, so serger level 1. Okay, and we teach you how to thread your serger, deal with tensions, do inside curves and outside curves, inside corners and outside corners. Serger level 2 is working with 3 threads, so rolled hem and wide and narrow 3 threads and decorative threads. And then serger level 3 is counterintuitive, I know, because now we're down to 2 threads and flat locking. Serger level 4 is 5 threads. So for machines that have 8 thread capability or the 5 thread capability, you have to have a machine with that capability to do serger level 4. And then serger level 5 is for machines that
5.
5.
Oh, 5. Never mind.
5 is for
I can't count.
sergers that are 5 thread and 8 thread, and we're doing the cover stitch function in them, as well as cover stitch only machines and functionality with cover stitch. So that is a basic sum up of sergers and some of the things that you can do. It's not just straight lines and it's not just edge finishing. We've got April is National Serger Month. March right now is National Quilting Month, and we just finished National Embroidery Month in February. I don't know who decides these things, but somebody came up and said, this is the national month that we're going to serge and quilt and sew and do whatever. So there's a body somewhere that comes up with these things. I do not know who they are or what they are or what you have to do to get to be on the body, but I have not been asked. So.
Probably because we come up with some very interesting
Yes,
months.
exactly. I love this
I want to
wave
know
function.
when National Chocolate Quilting Month is. So.
No chocolate. Caramel would be my choice.
I love those caramel commercials. How do they get the caramel in that? And they got the aliens down there making it.
That's right. Yes. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. So, old address.
Huh? We might need to update those.
Oh, yeah.
The moves.
Yes, we have moved.
All right. So with the serger classes,
Yep.
1, 2, and 3 run quite a bit. So definitely
Quite
get in
frequently.
those.
Yes.
4 and 5.
Are not as frequently.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Am I not loud enough?
if you're interested in those, you have machine, you haven't stepped into that. I'm guilty of this one. This would be the time to get your name in there because it would probably be a year before they're run again.
Yeah.
So 4 and 5. 1, 2, and 3 will be.
If you're interested and it's already run, definitely put your name
Yes.
in. Because if we get enough people on the wait list, the teacher will run it.
We will
Yeah, we
add
will
it
run
again.
them.
Yes.
So,
yes. So when I'm finished with my time sensitive job, I have tried to take the serger classes here twice, and twice I've had to
I
pull
thought
out
we were on like 4th
it could
time.
be 3, but yeah, I'm working with you because 3
You're
sounds
going on vacation.
horrible. Yes, one time was vacation, one time the machine didn't work. It was just like, oh, okay.
We keep running the classes because Deborah keeps asking for them and then bailing on them.
And then other people take them. So it'll be my turn soon. That's my goal anyway. So get your name in there if you're interested because they are so fun. It's nice to have a machine and use it to the full extent that it has available to you because otherwise it just sits there, right? Gathering dust, and then you have to use my fancy little makeup brush to clean it off, right? So there you go. So that's it for today. And
I think that's it.
yeah, back next week.
We will. We'll be back next week.
Okay.
And yeah, have a great day.
Yep.
And a great week. And
Talk to you
we'll see you later.
Okay. Bye.